So this one's interesting. This is called five Miami Beach police officers charged with battery and rough arrest, and that's basically what it was. This is what happens.
Here, Sergeant Perez comes back. You'll see this right here. Watch there. Did you see that kick there? Okay. There it is in slow motion replay. So that's 3 times by Sergeant Officer Perez. So for these actions, Miami Beach Police Sergeant Jose Perez is being charged today. We then have Miami Beach Officer Kevin Perez, who's also, by the way, there's no relationship, as I understand it, right, between the two Perezes. It's just coincidental, they both have a same last name. This video appears to show Kevin Perez kicking Mr. Crudup at least 4 times. Let's see. You see the back there? That's Officer. It's a different angle. There's a body worn campus at this point. Then about 5 seconds later.
So that's the first video. I'll show the second video in just a second. So the guy runs into this hotel. Don't know the name of this hotel. It's in Miami Beach. The guy with the scooter, he tries to get away from the police. He runs into this hotel, tries to go into the elevator. He gets trapped in the elevator. One of the police officers shows up with a gun, points at him, so he comes out. They put handcuffs on him, put him on the ground, and then all this stuff happens. So anyway, when I first heard about it, I was really disturbed, especially when you first look at it and you see all those police officers. But like I'm telling you, I have seen worse. I've seen worse. Now, all the police officers around, yeah, that's odd. They're gathered around, very intimidating. And I'm not justifying this. I'm just saying I've seen worse. But the police officers are kicking this guy, and they kicked him in the head, totally wrong, right? They kicked him, they punched him, they did it several times. So there's going to be a punishment for that. You know, they're suspended. Maybe they might even lose their jobs for that, because it's not even necessary to respond in that way, especially if he's on the ground handcuffed. But when I say I've seen worse, I absolutely mean I've seen worse where my stomach was turned. I've seen a situation where a police officer kicked somebody in the head and with malice, trying to injure, and this person was injured, and this grown man was crying like a little child and apologizing. I've seen that kind of stuff. This is a clown show. You know, this is a circus. They're not really out of control. The situation I saw before, out of control. Anger, this officer can't control this anger, out of control. This situation, you know, it's not out of control. They're wrong. There's a bunch of them around, and they're taking, you know, hits on this guy wrong, for sure. As far as I know, there's no real injuries in this situation. It doesn't justify it. But I'm just saying there wasn't malice in it. I think there was some retaliation with the officer's part, because he tried to get away on the scooter and attempt to get away on the scooter. I think he almost ran over, or did run over, a couple police officers. So that might be why so many, 12 of them or more, showed up at the scene. So yeah, that was wrong. In this situation, it wasn't malice. It doesn't justify what happened. It's ugly. It looks ugly. You have 12 officers on scene. 5 of them are acting in this way. When a Miami chief or when the mayor says this is not who we are, well, when you have so many police officers on the scene, it kind of looks like that this is who you are. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in this situation. Will those police officers keep their jobs? Will they be fired? We'll see what's going to happen, because it creates an ugly face for the Miami police in that situation. But here's the other video. This is the cameraman who's filming and the situation, and this is what happens to a cameraman. So I'll show you that one next.
Out incident, you see, go back to that again, please. George, could you roll that back? Yeah. So you see, we think the officer's here saying back up. and you'll see him take about 4 steps back with his camera. Now you see Officer Sabater running in and tackling him there. Now, if you hold it right there, now what you see is after he's tackled, this is actually, these are his shorts, and that's a fist right there. And watch what happens next. I'm sorry, but it's all we have. It's what it is. So if you could play that, George, please. Now what you see there is a series of punches in the back rib cage area or kidney area, but it's on the back. You see that there? So because of those actions that you just saw, Miami Beach Police Officer Robert Sabater is being charged today. Now we have the body-worn camera video of Officer David Rivas, who appears to show Mr. Vaughn actively backing away from the Officer Rivas. Remember when you saw that initially? But nonetheless, Officer Sabater then pins Mr. Vaughn against the column. Well, approximately 12 seconds later, while he's being handcuffed, you can see from the videos, and we just went through this, roll that back again, that's Officer Rivas, thank you, who's repeatedly striking Mr. Vaughn, as I said, in the ribcage area.
So in that situation, cameraman, he's grinning as he's filming this whole situation. I'm not sure what he's grinning about, what he thinks is so funny, but he's grinning, kind of laughing a little bit. They tell him to back off. He does back off 4 or 5 steps, but it's not good enough. And a police officer comes out of nowhere, as you can see on the video, tackles the guy, his bag flies around. And then the police officer punches him up, softens him up a little bit, punches him up in the midsection, softens him up. And totally out of line for police officers behaving this way. We definitely don't want police officers behaving this way. And I love the fact that, district attorney, if that's what it's called, state district attorney Katherine Fernandez, I think that's her name, but hold them accountable. The chief is holding them accountable, said this is not the way we do things, that kind of thing. But I have to say again, I've seen worse. Not that justifies anything or means anything. I'm just telling you, there's no malice in this situation. The police officers, they were wrong, punching people, kicking people, out of line for sure. This situation to me reminds me of, when you're playing flag football, and all of a sudden the game gets out of control, and instead of going for the flags, people start tackling each other and throwing each other on the ground, that kind of thing. That's kind of what this situation look like to me. So the camera guy, don't know his name. There was 2 of them. Police dropped the charges with them. They both have attorneys, same attorney, in fact. Police dropped the charges with them, which makes sense. This other guy, though, the one with the scooter or whatever he had, they're not going to drop the charges with him. Now, I'd be curious to see how this affects the case when these police officers behaved in the way that they did. But he's still in jail. I think he may have got bailed out. I'm not sure, but they're not dropping the charges against them. The 5 police officers involved, the one that tackled and punched the cameraman, and then the other ones who are punching and kicking the scooter guy, they are on leave, administrative leave, I think probably with pay. And the chief is going to look at this situation. Now, it doesn't seem like the charges are that serious. Charged with battery and a rough arrest. That doesn't seem like such a serious charge, but they could lose their jobs. But when your boss, the chief of police, says that he's disgusted or whatever his words are with this behavior, and this is not like us, that's something to be afraid of. That's your boss saying that. Your boss is not backing up this behavior. And that's what you need to be afraid of. These officers can be, as cocky as they want to be, and I'm not saying they are, in this situation saying, yeah, we did this and that. But if your boss doesn't back you up, that cockiness goes out the window. Then I imagine you're afraid. And then the district attorney has evidence, video evidence, and she's very calm as she's explaining what she's going to do. But charges will be brought against. I don't think anything serious is going to happen with the police officers because of the charges, but they might lose their jobs. We'll see. Like I said, it looks like a clown show because as far as I know, injuries aren't serious. There was no real malice here, more of an intimidation thing. But still, that's all I got. Peace and hope, everyone.